Welcome back. Well, yes, we'll go over to Abuja studios where Sabo-Keana joins us. He's a former chairman of Keana local government area. Morning, and thank you for joining us. And let's look at the responsibilities now. We've got the local governments. They also have a big role to play in all of this as we face up with the challenge we've got security-wise. But you know, there are so many people who think that the local government authorities are not pulling their weight as they ought to, because if they were, they think this couldn't have gotten as far as it is now. Could you tell us what you think of this school of thought, for instance?
Good morning. I'm hearing. Well,
the idea about the local government not filling in the gap as is expected or as is being perceived now, to me is coming from a misunderstanding of the current evaluation of what the local government as an institution today is in Nigeria. What we have is a situation where the system is not allowed to function as it is expected to do or to perform. And so when there's a failure, immediately it goes to the vacuum that is between the truth about the status of the local government and what it's supposed to be, and what the state governments and the federal government regulations today have turned the local government system to be. So if the local government system, as it was conceived by the 1976 reform, was allowed to function, by today you would have had a system which has properly integrated all the values of the community in its operation, and would have been able to be more comfortable to be able to monitor the activities, promote activities, and engage the system as it were. So what you have today is just a caricature of the structure that was conceived in 1976, and therefore you cannot expect anything better as it is today. And much of the time when you are discussing the local government system, we are unable to separate the relevance and the uniqueness of the institution all over the world as against the operators that are on it today.
Okay, I think we lost the feed from Mr. Sabo-Keana, but it was making an interesting point. I mean, talking about those who occupy those seats today, concerning the stark reality that we're faced with. And so one will wonder, what is the unique difference about all of this? But we're attempting to get him back.
I think it's good to have someone who's actually been in the saddle. And you recall, he also was the Algon chairman of that is the Association of Local Government Persons in Nigeria. It's quite important that, Chamberlain, your first question to him about grassroots awareness and governance, because most of this start from the grassroots. Yeah. And perhaps maybe he will tell us if we have ignored that arm of governance over time, that or perhaps maybe there's something they too would have been able to do. Don't forget, we also have the traditional institution, and which is very, very key. Recall that loads and loads of Nigerians have always talked about, well, the traditional rulers coming into the fray to see how they can actually help in this, and quite a number have been caught up in this cycle of violence. You also recall how an attempt was made at the life of the Emir of Kano, as well as some couple of others. So I'm sure that there must be some form of solution from the grassroots, and gentlemen like Mr. Sabo-Keana should be able to speak from experience, and I'm sure the security operatives as well as Nigerians can also learn from what they've gathered over time running administration of local governments in their domain or in their locality.
You know, one of the guests that was here, I think within the week, asked the question that where are the local government chairmen around that area? What are they doing? What are they saying? And I think I got to find out from that question. I called a friend and he said that they, for instance, Chibok, for instance, the local government chairman there is not elected. He's an administrator. But even at that, he still has a responsibility to the people. And in terms of security, as they say, the governor is the chief security officer of the state. I guess the local government chairman is also the chief security officer of the local government and needs to work with the necessary authorities to ensure that his local government is secure. So that grassroots thing needs to be looked at. Into community policing. For us to have effective community policing, the grassroots needs to really be brought into the fore.
You know, it's understandable when we all talk about all of this and then look to those in positions to see how they pull their weight when they are. We'll talk about our senators, the members of the House of Representatives, we talk about local government chairmen, the councillors. Yeah, traditional rulers, not elected though, but don't forget that the laws of this country are still there. If a man is in court under trial, you have to respect that process until it's over and done with. You cannot jump to conclusions and all of those kind of matters, as the senator also told us here. So we have to really be mindful of all of this. But we will keep trying to get Pt.1 back to give us that perspective on the functions, or how they're pulling their weight. If not, why? But coming up next will be the National Conference. Join us again.